Hey tribe, it is your mom of three in NYC back at you with another video. I've got to get an intro. It has to be included. But anywho, if it's your first time here, if you want to be a tribe member, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button below. If you are a returning tribe member, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see ya. All right, tribe. I am on location here in the bathroom of my apartment because the family is everywhere else. And this is the quietest place I can find. And I'm coming to you with a review. A full review. We're going to talk through it actually. Of the Law of Attraction. So the title is The Law of Attraction, the Science of Attracting More of What You Want and Less of What You Don't by Michael J. Losier. And I heard about this book specifically from a YouTuber, Danny Victor. I wanted to give her a shout out. I read the entire book in one sitting. I did. It was that good. And I want to read it again. I honestly am planning, I think I got this from the library, but I think I'm going to go ahead and purchase it and I'm going to read it again. But I wanted to come to my tribe and have a little bit of a dialogue about it and just go chapter by chapter because it was that inspiring. Okay, guys? So they have a lot of tools online. TheLawOfAttraction.com where you can print out like worksheets. But I just want to go through a couple of things that really stuck out to me. And so he gives a brief history of the Law of Attraction, the science of the Law of Attraction, all about positive and negative vibration. So vibrations are feelings. And on page 14, there's negative vibrations like disappointment, loneliness, lack, sadness, confusion, stress, anger, hurt. There are positive vibrations like joy, love, excitement, abundance, pride, comfort, confidence, and affection. And so when you have these feelings, these are known as vibrations. And so the law, he says on page 16, the law of attraction responds to whatever vibration you are sending by giving you more of it, whether it's positive or negative. It simply responds to your vibration. And so there's a cycle, there he goes. An observation cycle. It's non-deliberate. Number one is you observe what you receive and have in your life, whether it's positive or negative. While observing, you are sending a vibration, either positive or negative. The law of attraction responds to the vibration that you're sending. And then as a result, step 4, you get more of what you are vibrating, whether positive or negative. And so that's the crux of it, is that you want to have positive vibrations because you want when the law of attraction is doing its thing, you want it to send you more positive vibrations. All right, guys? So I think that what really began to sink into my spirit, starting on page 21, was understanding the significance of your words. Words, words, words. And I knew this, but the diagram, it shows really clearly that words, they lead to thoughts, which are made up of words, which lead to feelings, negative or positive vibrations. So I'm going to read this paragraph from page 21. Why is there an emphasis on words? Words are everywhere. We speak them, we read them, we write them, we think them, we see them, we type them, we hear them in our head. The reason the exercises in this book are all based on choosing precise words is because the words we think and use generate the vibrations we send out. Your thoughts are made up of words. And words can cause you to attract things that you don't want, right? And the next few chapters really, really spoke to me in terms of using the words don't, not, and no. So when you use these words on page 22, you're actually internalizing in your mind the exact thing you are being told not to. He says, for example, if I said, don't think of a snowstorm, I guarantee you would start thinking of a snowstorm almost immediately. Even though the instruction was not to do something, your unconscious and conscious mind edited out that part of the instruction. So the law of attraction responds the same way your mind does. It hears what you don't want. When you hear yourself make a statement containing the words don't, not, or no, you are actually giving energy and attention to what you don't want. An effective and easy tool on page 23 that will help you reduce and eventually eliminate the use of the words don't, not, and no from your vocabulary. Each time you hear yourself using don't, not, or no, ask yourself, so what do I want? Each time you talk about what you don't want, in that moment, you're giving it your attention and your energy. When you ask yourself what you do want, the answer will have created a new sentence with new words. When your words change, your vibration changes. And the best news of all is that you can only send out one vibration at a time. I mean, wow. So he does a really, really great job of giving examples in this book. I must say that. So instead of saying, don't hesitate to call, you can say, call me soon. Instead of don't panic, you can say, stay calm. Instead of don't be late, instead, see you on time. I mean, just take a moment. Instead of using these negative words, use positive words instead. Deliberate attraction. So this whole next chapter is really about the 3-step formula for deliberate attraction. I'm not going to go into this part as much, but I will give you the 3 steps. You're identifying your desire, you're giving your desire attention, and then you're allowing it. And he goes into depth about contrast, and is contrast helpful? I mean, every page in this book is a must read. And so giving your desire attention, using affirmations. Again, he says that, an affirmation is a spoken statement in the present tense and used to declare a desire. Saying, I have a happy, slender body is an example of a positive affirmation. Each time you read your affirmation, you'll have a reaction based on how the words make you feel. But remember, the law of attraction responds to the vibrations you send out based on how you feel, not based on the specific words that you use. If, for example, you tell yourself that you have a happy, slender body when you do not, or when having a happy, slender body feels unattainable, you will create negative vibrations. Even in positive affirmations, if it's something you don't believe or see for yourself, it will create negative vibrations. So, I don't want to give away too many spoilers because I really want you guys to read the book because it's that powerful. Instead of stating an affirmation that may not be, attainable, instead you can use the phrase, I'm in the process. So maybe an affirmation is, I'm growing my business. If you don't really have that hope or that deep sense that it's going to come to pass, maybe instead of saying, I'm growing my business, I'm in the process of growing my business. I'm in the process of having ideal health. I'm in the process of attracting an ideal mate. Now, the statements are true. And when a statement is true, it feels good. When it feels good, you are sending a positive vibration. I just love that. Love it, love it, love it. One more thing I really wanted to touch on, is putting it to work. Again, I wanted to give you enough nuggets to get you interested in reading the book, but I really also wanted to share what inspired me. So it was about children, how to teach the law of attraction to children on page 129. Tip number one is keep your words simple. Instead of using the word vibration, instead use the word vibe. And then another tip was to use a picture as a visual representation of vibrations on and off. So when Mr. Losier was teaching a classroom of students, he had them write 3 words down in their notebook in big letters. Don't, not, no. He then explained that when we use those words, we feel negative. So an example of don't be late, don't get your clothes dirty, do not run in the hall, don't leave your coat on the floor, no bullying, don't play ball in the house, don't eat or drink near the computer. Again, even though you put the word don't, not, and no, it's going to cause them to think of the actual thing you're asking them not to do. So instead of don't be late, how about arrive on time? Instead of don't get your clothes dirty, how about keep your clothes clean? Instead of do not run in the hall, just say walk in the hall. Instead of don't leave your coat on the floor, hang up your coat. Instead of no bullying, play nicely. Instead of don't play ball in the house, what do I want? Play ball outside. Instead of don't eat or drink at the computer, instead say eat or drink at the table. I mean, it really is a positive, life-changing event. And so he had the students to write on the diagram of the light switch he had drawn on the board: positive, love, excitement, joy, fun, safe; negative, scared, angry, sad, left out, and lonely. And it's a visual aid for younger children to help them understand the difference between feeling negative or positive emotions or vibes. And so, I'm so sorry, tribe. It's all in the words that we speak. It really is all in the words that we speak. And so I would just encourage you, if you have never read the book, it's definitely worth a read. Definitely. And honestly, I feel like after reading the book, I read the book yesterday, I was hyper aware of the words that I was using. And just to give you an example, when I went to pick up BB1 from school, he had misplaced he couldn't find his gloves. And I literally bought them for him the day before. So not even one day he had the Spider-Man gloves that match his Spider-Man hat. And so he was getting all upset. And I said to him, you know what? I said, to shift the paradigm, instead of being upset and angry at himself for losing his gloves, I said, you know what, we'll look for them. And if we don't find them, then you know what, we'll use your tooth fairy money to buy you a new pair of Spider-Man gloves. But let's look for them first. He was upset. He was distraught. He was, stressing out. I think he was thinking I was going to be mad at him, but I wasn't, because he didn't mean to lose his gloves. We have to be more careful next time. And he ended up a few hours later finding his gloves in his hoodie. He put them in the pocket of his hoodie instead of the pocket of his jacket. But again, I had already given him some positive reinforcement and letting him know that even if we couldn't find that pair of gloves, we would make sure he had a pair of gloves. And then he ended up finding the gloves. And so, again, I think that reading this book just made me hyper aware of the words that I use. So instead of, don't lose your gloves, you just got these, I said, BB1, what can we learn from this? Next time when you take off your gloves, let's have a plan. We're going to put your gloves in your jacket pocket, and your pockets have zippers. So when you take off your gloves, you're going to put them in your jacket pocket. You're going to zip them up so they don't fall out. And that way, every day, you know where your gloves are. If they're not on your hands, they're in your pockets of your jacket. And again, I feel like it was a really great learning lesson for him and for me as well. And then also just the idea of being thankful and grateful when positive things come your way. It increases your awareness of the positivity around yourself. So try, if you had not read it, it's definitely worth a read. I really, really enjoyed, like I mentioned before, he has tools online. He also has another book called The Law of Connection, which I have not read. If you read this, please put it in the comments below and let me know what you thought about it. But I wanted to jump on here and just encourage you guys that the law of attraction, I don't agree with everything he says, but he makes a lot of great points, especially when it comes to using your words. So I want to challenge you guys this week to really think about words that you use, whether they're positive or negative, and think about how words make you feel. Another quick story. So in our neighborhood, one pharmacy closed. And there's a pharmacy directly across the street from it. So there's two pharmacies across the street. One closed, the other one is still open. So of course the one that is open, it's getting a lot of traffic. Like it's super busy now because it's got all the traffic and business from the one that closed. So I've been trying to get baby girl her inhaler refill for her field trip on Monday, which I've already mentioned to you guys in a previous video. And so literally I have been calling the pharmacy for 2 days to get a refill. And there's no answer. So I tried calling today. No answer. So I call back and they said, if you're a doctor, press 1. So instead of like a refill prescription or talking to the pharmacist, I went through the prompts like I was a doctor. And so when the pharmacist picked the phone up and I said, I'm calling for a refill, she was really nasty. She was like, you shouldn't have called this number. Next time, don't call. And I explained to her, I said, Miss, I've been calling the refill number for 2 days now and have not gotten an answer. She's like, well, we're very busy now. And if you can't wait 15 to 20 minutes, then I don't know what to tell you. Ooh. And I was taken aback because if you know that you're that busy, then why are you scolding me for trying a different method and a way to get a medicine my daughter needs? But I realized that, you know what? Her vibrations were low. And you'll read in the book, again, I don't want to give all of it away. I don't want to spoil it. I want you to get a lot out of it when you read it for yourself. But you'll read in the book that you can't go to her low vibration. You have to maintain your high vibration. And in that moment, I said, man, I was just trying to get through to get medicine for my daughter. And she was nasty. She's like, well, you can't get it. Why can't I get it? Insurance won't cover till the 29th. And I explained to her, I'll pay out of pocket. Like, I'll pay for the medication. But there was no need for her consistent negativity. But again, previous to reading this book, I would have gone back and forth with her. But I realized today that, you know what? She's stressed out. She's overwhelmed. I'm just going to do what I need to do. And the purpose of the phone call was to get medicine for my daughter. And that's what I did. And I ended by saying, you know what? I really hope you have a good day. And I was not being sarcastic. I was being honest. I really hope that your day gets better. So again, I would love to start a conversation. If you guys didn't know, I was an English major at Duke. So reading it makes me feel so good. So eventually on my channel, I do want to start a book club. Currently, I do belong to a book club. It's Rocks. If you are a member of the It's Rocks book club, hey. But I do want to start one here on my channel. But in the meantime, in between time, please, 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 at least look at the law of attraction. It's got a lot of really powerful points that I think are worth thinking about, especially when it comes to using our words intentionally and not wasting our energy. But again, if you have any points that you'd like to bring up, please just drop them in the comments below. As always, it's so great to see you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now, tribe.